Guten Abend. Omega Ruby und Alpha Sapphire Overused is the official metagame of Germany. And so Kevin has invited me, his Freund Heinrich, to regale you with this tale of its greatness. It is only fitting then that the player representing said greatness is the Stolz der Nation, Germany's very own Crashing Boom Bang. He's got the true Deutsch spirit in him, as exemplified in his team and his in-battle abilities. Now, it is even more fitting that this game is chosen because CBB is also using the official Pokemon of Germany, Hydreigon. And for those of you who don't know, I understand that there's a great lack of culture in the competitive Pokemon community. Hydreigon is the official Pokemon of Germany because it has drei in its name. Und drei means three. And Hydreigon has three heads, and people say that the Germans are the most intelligent. And they're right. How could it be any different? I mean, I'm about to show you solid proof in this battle. Now, make no mistake, Nintendi is a phenomenal OS player in his own right, but he's not from Germany, so he just doesn't understand the truest essence of the tier, Anyway, if there's one thing I cannot stand about Kevin, it's that he takes forever to analyze the battle, and you should just know, it's not that hard. So we go right to turn 1, we do not analyze the team preview. I mean, just like CBB, I know the battle log says that he took 30 seconds to select his lead, but I'm pretty sure there's a glitch on Showdown. You can't trust the people who make these programs, they're always lying somehow. It's like CVV instantly knew that his lead was jealous, and look, it is a correct lead as well, because he leads off against Diancie, who is the biggest threat to his team, and he just spams Scald freely. I mean, either he burns something like Ferrothorn, or Vivile if it's foolish enough to switch into it, but even if he burns Starmie, I mean, that's good. I mean, Jellicent usually switches into the Starmie, okay? I mean, it would be so silly if Starmie came into it, because that is more of an advantageous matchup for CBB, and he can potentially remove the Starmie with the Pursuit Mega Metagross, and that his Keldeo will just go absolutely bonkers. Bonkers, it's such a silly word. They say that Germans don't have humor? I just think that's so wrong. I mean, I will make more jokes throughout this video, you will see. Anyway, here comes Starmie, who is a good Pokemon in OS. Oh, you see another joke already. I mean, look at this usefulness. And then CVB shows off his, I believe it's called the Galactic Brain, as he switches Landorus, a ground type, into a water type, and takes an electric move. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Jellicent lead was genius, but this was really genius. Now, I'm not sure why it was genius, but I know it was genius, because I look at what happened on the turn, and then I decide based on that. You don't need to think any further than that. Anyway, so we've got the Scarf U-turn, yeah, very safe. Oh no, he's going to get chipped by Rocky Helmet, how tragic. But he's going to have a free switch for the Specs Keldeo, the broken one. I mean, it's incredible. Oh, that's French, I'm sorry, sometimes all these European countries just start bleeding into each other. And, sometimes, look, I already don't like speaking English, but I recognize I have to reach the masses somehow. But God help me if I start speaking just anything else. Anyway, so he does not even go for the free Scald. Look at that artistic restraint. Oh, it's like Lubitsch all over again. He goes to the Hydreigon rather than messing around with trying to Scald or Hidden Power Grass, or maybe even try to Pursuit Trap the Starmie with Mega Metagross. No, he goes to the Hydreigon, and now he threatens the Specs Dark Pulse, which crushes everything except Diancie and Vivile. And Vivile and Diancie obviously gets utterly smoked by the Flash Cannon. Now, the one middle ground is Ferrothorn, because it takes both Dark Pulse and Flash Cannon. So, no way Starmie stays in here, though. So, Nintendo does make the safe middle ground. Oh my god. There's a Fire Blast, and he gets roasted into a million tiny pieces. Now, that was just incredible right there. Now, CBB's team, while perfect, it does not have a perfect matchup because, Pokemon. And so he does have to contend with the potential threat of Mega Diancie. Now, I'm semi-curious why it did not come in there, because knocking off the Keldeo, as is going to happen here, is not that beneficial to the win plan. There's Diancie being able to chip away at its few checks. That does directly lead to Nintendo having more of an option to win. Whereas the Vivile win path is just so much less likely. So I think he was better off by going to Diancie on this turn to regain the ground lost when he lost his Feral Sword. But then again, you know, the non-German players, they do not understand this. So it's not his fault, you know. So in comes the Keldeo. Yes, it loses its choice specs, but it's not necessary because, I mean, look, it's already threatening without the specs. And if it wants to beat Starmie somehow, then there are other ways than with specs HP gas. I mean, HP gas alone might be useful without the restraint of the choice item, because it means that Volcarona cannot come in on the locked HP gas and set up. And HP Ground Volcarona is potentially dangerous, so CBB must play around it. Of course he can, so here comes a Starmie. Oh, another double to Hydreigon. Now that was just a perfect move, because even if Vivile stays in, I mean, there was nothing that Nintendo could do to stop that move, but doing something ridiculous, like switching Diancie or Volcarona into a Keldeo with a free Scald, seemingly. Because Scald is such a safe move, and you're not going to sacrifice your Diancie or your Volcarona. You're not going to switch them into Scald, but you are going to try and check that Keldeo. And so you either go to Starmie or you stay in and go for another knockoff with Vivile if you're really feeling brave. Like if you think, oh, this Keldeo is going to get a cheap shot with HP Grass, I punish it, yeah. But no, CBB covered both options beautifully with Hydreigon. That's just, you know, Teutonic brilliance right there. Anyway, so the Starmie, I mean, yeah, is it going to stay in? No, it's not going to stay in and get a Desperation T-Wave. Not yet, because then, you know, the Keldeo clicks the water move, and even without the specs, it's too much. Anyway, so CBB goes for the Dark Pulse, chips the Hydreigon. No, the Hydreigon is without chip, yeah. Vivile comes in, eats a hefty chunk from the Dark Pulse. And that was playing it safe. Your CBB knows when to play it safe, always, of course. So in comes Keldeo once again, and it is in range of that second knockoff now, which is dangerous. So, you know, perhaps that first knockoff was better than I first ascertained. I mean, you know, sometimes you forget to give the credit to the non-German players, but I mean, they have some idea. But I mean, look at CBB recognizing the situation perfectly and going for a Scald, not going back to Hydreigon. No, that would have been silly. No, why would one do that? No, he goes for the Scald and gets the crit burn. Oh, that's perfect. Now Starmie's forced to recover, and well, now it is going to get pursued by the Mega Metagross, and you know, barring a completely undeserved Scald burn of Nintendo's, which fortunately he does not get. And Scald again, no burn. Oh, praise God. Anyway, so here comes the Vivile, but if this thing has Bullet Punch, it does. Good Nacht. And down it goes. So in comes the Rocky Helmet Landorus. But, I mean, without the Vivile, perhaps the Landorus was the better move there. As the late game rocks, I mean, it's going to survive the Dark Pulse, but take a huge chunk. And now in comes the Diancie. Now, if Diancie had rocks and Vivile was still in the back, then, you know, maybe it was... he still might have had a chance. He could have sacrificed the Volcarona on a probable Flash Cannon, or he could soak up a Dark Pulse with it and then go to Diancie, because if the Volcarona doesn't have HP ground, then it's not going to be sweeping anyway. So, you know, you may as well just use it as a buffer. And if you lose the, if you get the procs against the Metagross instead of sacrificing Vivile, and you have Volcarona to scout the moves of the Hydreigon, and you have the Vivile and the Diancie with Volcarona and Lando to play around the threats, then, you know, maybe this game is still winnable. I mean, still incredibly uphill, but, you know, still doable. So, Diamond Storm, that comes in revenge kills. So, down... Well, something's... I guess Volcarona could come in, but, and it does come in indeed. He's just relentless. You know, sometimes I get mixed up with these words in this, you know, non-German language. I'm just not a fan. Anyway, so Keldeo comes in and scalds, does not KO, but he does not need it. Well, maybe he could have. Well, no, because if he does not, he would need Giga Drain and Hidden Power Ground to sweep at this point, and that's an incredibly unlikely set. I mean, it has been used, but you know, you could argue that Hydro Pump was the better move there. But basically, if he doesn't have Giga Drain, he's not going to be Jellicent at the low health. So I mean, I guess you risked getting swept by HP Ground Giga Drain there by not Hydroing, but you know. Yeah, I guess I guess Hydro Pump probably was the move. And now that I think about it, because if he doesn't have HP Ground, you're going to beat it with Heatran regardless. And if he does have HP Ground and Giga, then you don't want to just Scald and lose to it. Although no, I take it back, because if he does have HP Ground but no Giga Drain, and you misses a Hydro, then you still might lose. So rather force him to have both Giga and HP Ground. And he does not go for the Quiver Dance, which is surprising. But, I mean, it might even be in Bullet... I don't know, I just think it's out of Bullet Punch range. Whereas the fact that he does not go... he wasn't forced to Bullet Punch there, because he hadn't Quiver Dance, obviously. But he go... yeah, I guess if he had HP Ground, he would have Quiver Dance there, and then maybe he would have gotten something done. I guess he could go right to the Heatran on the... yeah, no, I think he would have gone right to Heatran if he had Quiver Danced on the Giga Drain to limit the Giga Drain recovery. So it doesn't heal on the Keldeo. And then if it doesn't have Giga Drain, then you're fine anyway. And if it does have Giga Drain and HP Ground, then, you know, you're toast. Oh, I'm falling into the Kevin trap of analyzing the battle. Anyway, so here comes Volcarona again on a double switch. Good move from Nintendo. Lando into Volcarona. And he gets a Giga Drain off on the Volcarona, but not quite enough for 2 KO, even at that chipped state. He goes to Diancie. And in comes Heatran. Very nicely done by CBB. He hopes for no Earth Power on the Diancie. It has Diamond Storm, and so if he gets a Lava Plume burn, that is toast. Yeah, look at all these burn moves CBB has in his team. It's just so much source of offensive pressure. So this game is incredibly over at this point. But without the burn, I think he was still okay, just because Mega Metagross poses such a threat. Because I think the last move is Zen Headbutt. I mean, maybe not. Maybe Nintendo still could have brought it back. So, who knows? You can let me know in the comments there below. And in comes Lando again, knocks off the helmet, and now that is going to be the game. And, yeah, so, glorious victory for Deutschland, courtesy of CBB und Hydreigon in Auras OU. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, this way of speaking that is different from Kevin's usual Amerikanisch accent. And I will see you next time.